welcome to EC Electronics. In today's video, we'll be seeing the tips to prepare an effective timetable. So whether it is your semester examination or your competitive examination, for whichever exam you're preparing for, you should always try to make an effective timetable for a smarter preparation. Because most of the times it is not hard work, it is smart work which will help you to pass or get through your competitive examinations. Okay, so in this video, I'll try to give you some tips which I usually make when I make a timetable. Okay, so let's see. So a lot of people may think that what is the necessity of making a timetable. Now, making a timetable, as I said earlier, it is most of the time not hard work but smart work which will help you to get through the examination. So you should have a smart way of preparation. You should have an effective way of preparation rather than just keep on studying on anything. Just have a smarter approach to whichever examination you are going to attend. Okay, so a lot of examination is going to be happening. That is, ISRO exams are there, AFCAT exam is there, a lot of other exams are there, public sector and private sector exams are there. So whenever you're preparing for whichever examination of these or your semester examination, you should always try to make a good and effective timetable. So that is one reason. And the second reason is that when you are making a timetable, it is a gesture that you are giving some importance to that examination for which you are attempting. Okay, so it is a gesture that you are giving an importance to it, or it is something which is important in your life. So that is a indication of the importance. Okay, so making a timetable is actually an indication of its importance. Now let's see some tips which you can apply when making an effective timetable. So when you're trying to make an effective timetable, the first thing you should be doing is that try to find out your strengths and your weaknesses. For various people, some subjects will be tough, some subjects will be easy. Okay, so before making the timetable, you should be knowing which all subjects is very tough for you and which all subjects is very easy for you. Now, how to identify this is by doing the mock test of your exams which you are attempting for. Okay, so if you are going to attempt ISRO examination, try to download some previous year question papers and try to do a mock test before even starting your preparation. Actually, I have talked about this while discussing some exam tips. In that video, I've discussed about this thing, that before even making a timetable, you should be knowing your strengths and your weaknesses. For example, for some persons, digital electronics subject will be very easy, whereas EDC will be very tough. So while making timetable, you are actually going to manage your time, right? So you should be giving more time for your tough subject and less time for your easy subject. So for finding out your tough and easy subjects, most of the time, the effective way is to do a mock test by downloading some previous year question papers. Okay, so this is actually very effective. So first thing, now the first step is to understand your strengths and weaknesses. Okay, the next step is that before making a timetable or before managing your time, most of us or majority of us are lazy. So we always look for some spare time to have some fun or to have any other things to do in life, right? So when managing your time for 7 days, try to give 1 day off, and while preparing the timetable, you can exclude that day. Okay, so that is the second thing. Always have a cheat day. You can call that day as a cheat day in which you are not actually preparing, you are doing other important things in your life. Okay, so when you're going to prepare a timetable, you should first think of having a cheat day. But if you are not willing to give that cheat day, or if you want to prepare on the entire week, or if you want to prepare a timetable for the entire week, that is absolutely fine. But if you have other things, some people may be working, right? So someday they want to take some rest completely. So if they want to, or if you want to have a rest day, it is absolutely fine, because our brain is also demanding some rest, and continuous work or continuous workload for your brain is also not good. So manage your day or give or allot a day for rest day, or you can have an afternoon session. Consider that on Sunday afternoon, I'm not doing anything, I'm just taking rest or doing something else. That is absolutely fine. Okay, so before even preparing your timetable, you should decide that on which time or on which day I want to take rest. That is absolutely fine. Third tip is that I would suggest you to include maximum 2 subject preparation in a week. That is, when you're preparing timetable, on one day you should be preparing maximum 2 subjects. So if you are preparing more than 2 subjects, it will be very confusing. That is, if you are going to prepare all 3 subjects or 4 subjects on a single day, it will be actually confusing. So your brain will be mixed up with this all these formulas and all these numericals and everything, and it will get confused. Okay, so prepare maximum 2 subjects in a day. So when you're preparing a timetable, allow 2 subjects per day. Okay, likewise prepare a timetable that will be efficient. Otherwise everything will get mixed up and it won't be an efficient way of preparation. Okay, so that is the third thing you should be noting. The fourth tip is that when you are preparing a timetable, allow maximum 2 hours continuous preparation. Okay, consider that you are going to start your preparation in the morning at 9 o'clock. Study maximum up to 11 o'clock. That is 2 hours continuous study. That is a maximum time. After that, you must take a rest. Now, all these things, all these equations and all these numericals and everything you are going to stuff into your brain. Your brain is also demanding some rest. So that's why after continuous 2 hours of preparation, you should have a rest of at least 15 minutes. And that is the time when your brain is arranging all the things in a proper way. Otherwise, all the things will get mixed up, right? So continuous going on preparation or continuous going on studying is not also good thing or an effective thing. You should study maximum continuously 2 hours, then take a break, then resume your preparation. Okay, so that will be an effective way. The next tip is that when you're preparing a subject, so in this channel we are discussing about electronic subject, right? An electronic course. So when you're preparing some subject, for example, if you're studying digital electronics, not just go on studying the theory things, always give importance to numericals also. So consider that for 2 hours you are studying, then take a break. Then after that break, you should be doing the numerical questions of that subject. So likewise, the preparation should go on. So otherwise, if you are preparing the theory things from morning to evening, you are studying all the theory things, but you are not approaching the subject in a practical way or in the way for the competitive examination which it is demanding. Okay, so we all know that competitive examinations, they demand tricky questions and also numerical questions. So you should be studying in a way which is suitable for your competitive examination. So for that, you have to include timing for numericals also. So first you should be studying the theory, then take a break, then resume by doing the numericals. Okay, so that will be an effective way. The next tip is that in a week, if you're preparing a timetable for an entire week, one day you will be only doing mock test. Okay, so consider that out of the 7 days, you are taking rest on one day and the rest 6 days you're preparing. And in that 6 days, one day is wholly dedicated for doing the mock test. That is, you have already downloaded all the available previous year question papers of the examination which you are concentrating for, and in that day you will be doing these mock tests. Okay, so this will give a very good strength for your preparation. Okay, so please always try to give one day dedicatedly for your mock test practice. That is very important. Only then you will get familiarized with the type of questions and the standard of questions and everything. Okay, so you should have to be friends with that question paper. So for that thing, you are dedicating one day. And if you are going on doing this thing, that is studying, answering the questions, and on one day entirely you are doing the question papers, gradually you will get to know that you are improving. You are getting familiarized with the type of questions. You are getting familiarized with the examination pattern. So this thing is very important. Rather than just studying what all things or all the equations or the formulas or the theories, it is not going to give much good for you. So what is needed is, you are concentrating for an examination, you have to give whole focus to the type of questions, the pattern of the exam and the difficulty level. So for that, you have to always practice the previous year question papers. Okay, so that is very important. The next tip is that, so consider that yesterday you have studied EMT. Okay, in the forenoon session you have studied EMT and you have practiced some numericals also. And today, when you are going to study EMT again, in the first 15 minutes, you will be revising the things which you have studied in the yesterday or previous day. Okay, this is very important. Why? I'll tell you. See, your brain is also just like a capacitor. It will charge and discharge. So if you don't refresh it, it will discharge all the information and all the equations which it has stored. Okay, so for this thing, you have to timely refresh your brain. So for that, I'm telling the first 15 minutes of today's preparation is dedicated for revising the yesterday's topics. Just at least turn the pages. You will remember the things. Okay, it is very, very important. So otherwise, if you are going on piling this information, the bottom informations will be already lost towards the announcement of the examination or the commencement of the examination. Okay, so you should always refresh your brain. So always give some revising time for your subjects, all subjects. Okay, the last tip is that always have a weekly check on your timetable. So you have prepared a timetable in the beginning based on your strengths and weaknesses, but you have done a very good amount or a large amount of preparation, and after some times your weaker subjects are no more your weaker subjects, so you have to actually reduce the time for those tough subjects preparation and give that time to some other subject. So it is important to weekly revise your timetable also. Okay, so always try to refresh your timetable. Now in this week, I'm going to give more importance to this subject because the digital electronics is no more difficult for me because I have done enough preparation with the theory and the numerical. So I can give some time for the EMT also. Okay, so this is also very important. I am always talking based on the electronic subject because I am only familiar with those subjects. But if you're preparing for any other examination also, you have to have a weekly check on your timetable. Okay, so these are some tips which I feel that it will be good for you if you prepare an efficient timetable based on these tips. So we have not discussed anything rocket science in this video. We have just talked some casual things which you should do when making a good or an effective timetable. And first of all, making an effective timetable is very important if you are very passionate about getting a job or passing a competitive examination. Okay, so these are some tips which you can use in making a good or an efficient timetable, and I really hope that you found this video useful. If yes, please like, share and subscribe. Okay, and also I want to give information about a new update that we have started giving the notes of each videos. You can find the notes in the description. It will be uploaded to a drive, and from that drive you can directly download. Okay, so now a lot of people is actually asking for the notes. You can find the notes in the description. The link will be given. Okay, again, that's it for this video. If you like it, thumbs up. Please give it thumbs up and also share. And if you want more videos, please do subscribe. That's it. Thanks for watching and keep on watching.